Oh, okay, we're filming. That's brilliant. Okay, so today I've had quite an eventful day today. What have I been doing? Okay, so I taught a class in Euston, and then I had a heavy workout, so I did deadlifts and dips, and then I had to travel all the way to Teddington, which is where I am right now, here at the Waldegrave clinic. So I taught a yoga class. And now I want to do a clip with regards to pre-event massage. There was somebody who saw one of my YouTube clips. I'm sorry, but I forgot your name. I think it's a made-up name anyway, because it was like something began with the letter W and ended with the number 82. So I don't think that's the name that you were given at birth. But I think you know who you are, and yeah, I'll let you know. I'll reply to your comment on YouTube just to let you know that this video is dedicated especially for you, and also, well, you mainly, and then the following people that will be watching this. Okay, so this is with regards to pre-event massage. So when people ask me what exactly do I do for athletes just before an event, well, that's I've got like a few core techniques that I like to use, but ideally, in a perfect situation, what I would like to do is to know the athlete well before an event that they do. So I like to be working with them before their workouts, before their training sessions, just so I can tailor make their treatment. It's not really a good situation to be in when you're working with somebody just before a main event is going to start, because you don't know how they might react to it. So they might feel completely fired up and ready to go, thinking that they have a little bit extra and peaking too soon for their event. So this is more like working with a dance partner. You need to get to know know the person that you're working with. What works for them, what doesn't work for them, to really make sure that they really get the most out of the treatment. So for this, I don't like to do too much heavy stretching, not when you first meet them anyway. So what I'm going to show you here is just a very basic routine, and then you could tailor make it for yourself. Okay, so I think that's about as much as what I'd like to say. Other than also, before you start any sort of massage with anyone, make sure that that you speak to them about any health concerns that they may have. And also, one thing that is very important, which I don't think a lot of people have spoken about in many other videos, is use of certain liniments as well, liniments or mediums. Because for certain events, because I've seen this happen before, certain events, certain liniments like warming sort of heat rubs aren't really allowed for certain events, like especially for contact events like judo, kickboxing, because you get like a heat rub or one of these like Tiger Balm type substances. You get that in the eye, and that could potentially mean that your athlete could get disqualified or penalised. So be very careful about that as well. Okay, so I think that's pretty much most of what I wanted to say. And I think we're going to get to the good bit now, which is the actual massage. So with me here is Stephanie, who is also a very good sports massage therapist. So please do check her out as well. She works in Cobham, so I'll be able to give you further details down below as well. Okay, she's just done the class, so I think she's in the need of a massage anyway. So great. Okay, so we're gonna assume that Stephanie's maybe preparing maybe for a run or a cycling event perhaps. So this is something that I would probably do on somebody who I've never met before. Just sticking to good basic techniques, and then maybe in the future we can start to incorporate other techniques as well. Okay, thanks very much, Stephanie, for your time. Okay, if you'd like to just come to lie on your back, please, facing up, and I'll give you a pillow. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. Okay, that's excellent. So for the benefit of the camera, so I'm going to start off here. So what we want to do here, the purpose really for a massage pre-event is to try and invigorate the individual, invigorate the client, get them prepared. and to maybe iron out any sort of niggling discomfort as well. So it's a lot of like fast movements, getting a lot of warmth to the tissues. So it's almost a pre-warm up for the client. So for an event like running, or even an event like powerlifting, you don't want to really stretch them out too much. You don't want to make them feel tired before an event happens, or to feel a bit too loose. That they feel like they're flopping around while they're doing an event. So this is really what I mean about really tailor making your treatment for the client. So what I'm doing here is just very, very basic stuff here. And maybe in the future what I'll do is start to show you stuff that you can do with oils as well. I think it's also quite nice to do things that don't require oil, just because it always helps to be flexible with things, Okay. So what I'm using here, I'm using a technique here called rolling manipulation. This is a Chinese technique from tuina. So I'm using the back of my hand and rolling away. So with this as well, I really don't want to be doing heavy elbow work, or just digging really hard into specific trigger points, because this isn't really what I'm trying to do. I'm just really trying to get a client prepared for an event here, and I don't want them feeling sore before they've actually done anything. So this is the sort of stuff that you would do like pre-event, because we've done like we've been on different courses. So have you done much stuff like through?
Just exactly what you're saying, just warming up really, not working deeply. It's just to get everything warmed up, loosened up, and get the person ready. Yeah,
no, absolutely. I mean, like maybe for something different. Let's say if I was working with a gymnast or a dancer, then I'd probably maybe like to incorporate a lot of stretching. But I think because that's ultimately like the core of what they do, Okay, so I'm working into the gastroc here, gastrocnemius here. Again, all my movements are fast. Work around the knee. Oh, sorry, okay, that's right.
I think I'm a bit tired.
No worries. And maybe if I'm working maybe with a tennis player, because they're doing a lot of like side to side type movements, and the adductors will start to play a big role here. I'll do quite a bit of work in the adductors as well. So these are like kneading movements with my palm, and perhaps some rolling as well. So. And because I'm going through this very, very quickly, and because I have a Chinese medicine background, I have a tuina background as well. There are certain acupuncture, acu points that I like to use, which I won't go into too much detail for the nature of this, because this is more like a generalised pre-event massage video. Hopefully you can catch me at this angle as well. Yeah, and always get plenty, you always can get a lot of feedback from your client. I mean, you're not expecting, at this stage, you're not expecting your client to fall asleep, so you can speak to them, if that's what they want, Because sometimes, for an athlete, if they're feeling very stressed out before something, sometimes it's quite nice for them to actually, to talk to you as well, some rolling as well. Yeah, this is the one movement that people always ask me about. So what is this that you're doing on people, you know? And from the outside looking in, there's a lot of people who say, oh, you know, he just looks like he's flicking his hand, but you can go very deep with this, you know. And not a lot of people teach this properly. But if you really want to learn how to do this really well, people don't realise how deep this can be unless you're on the receiving end of it.
Yeah,
so,
I can vouch.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, if you really wanted to learn this properly, it's really worth learning this particular technique, because it's because you can really like generate a lot of force behind this as well, and also when you're going into very thickly muscled areas like the glutes and the lower back as well. This is really very, very valuable technique to have, you know, in your arsenal. Okay, excellent. Lay this up here like so. Again, these are just very, very quick movements. And you don't want to spend too much time, you know, with a massage like this, probably about 15-20 minutes, 20 minutes maximum. Is that what you were taught? Yeah.
I mean, sometimes even less, especially if it was before a big race and you need to see a lot of people, because people are all leaving at the same time, so you can't have one person warmed up and the other one standing around. So
yeah, that's right.
But even, you know, if you're really quick.
Yeah. Excellent. So not too much heavy stretching, just a little bit of mobilisation work, just for the hips, yeah. And a little bit on the knee. Hips, yeah. Circle on the knee. Okay, I'm finishing off with some pummeling, some supplement. Yeah, one of the Chinese books that I've read says the benefits of this is to help with. I like the wording of it. It said spiritual preparation for sporting events, and I thought, yeah, how cool is that? I'd love to. I love that. I love the wording. I think something was lost in translation, but I still like the description. Excellent. If I'd like to turn around, please, and lie face down. So I'll punch a hole in that. Yeah. Okay. Thanks very much. Okay. So rocking, like so. Rolling. The calves. So doing this like almost like I'm kneading bread here in the calves. Grabbing onto the calves, have a good shake. Or a single thumb manipulation. It's like sticking the thumb in one point and then circling the wrist. It's one technique that I like to do. Oh, okay.
Oh, my claws are in a bad way, so it's not you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, yeah, as a therapist, I mean, I don't know about you, but I know as therapists, I mean, we always tell people to book in treatments themselves, but we don't tend to do a lot for ourselves.
No.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. I don't think dentists have the same problem. I don't think they postpone their dental appointments. I don't think hairdressers do the same thing. I don't think they postpone hair appointments for themselves. But when it comes to therapists, I don't know. Naughty therapists, we don't look after ourselves as much as our clients do.
True.
Yeah, it's, I'll probably have to do another video to try and get a close-up of exactly what I'm doing with my hands. But this just gives you a general overview of how a pre-event massage is performed. Yeah. Okay, so there's a little bit of work on the glutes here. So just a little bit of kneading and rolling on the glutes. So glutes are very sort of thickly muscled areas, but there's certain points on the glutes which can be very tender, like the belly of the piriformis muscle. You can get in there very heavily with the elbow, but this isn't really the time to be doing it. You don't want your client feeling sore before a sporting event. You can use some plucking movements as well, not just circular movements. A little bit on the other side. So far, so good. You okay there?
Yeah, no, I thought that last one was particularly good, so I was just gonna
Yeah.
have to watch the videos.
Okay. Yeah. Well, don't worry. I can always forward this on. Yeah. Okay, just not too much on the lower back here, but just a little bit. Getting a little bit of rolling on the back. Normally, to do the other side of the back, I tend to walk around this side of the bench, but because you won't be able to see me properly on the camera, I'm doing it this way. Okay, and then finish off with some pummeling. Onto pummeling. Maybe a little bit of mobilising on the feet as well. A bit of a twist. A little bit of a shake. And your client is good to go. Okay, so for further information, or if you want to ask me any questions, please leave a message just down below on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook, or email me, phone me. I'll try to find any other medium for you to contact me. So my web address is www.maxstrengthholistics.co.uk. You can email me on info@maxstrengthholistics.co.uk. My phone number is 07593 108 702. So until next time, keep up with your sports, keep exercising, keep eating well, and yeah, don't forget, guys, book in a massage, really important. Okay, till next time, take care. It's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from Stephanie. Okay, no problems. Oh, and look her up as well, guys. Yeah, so yeah, Cobham. Yeah, I'll leave a link below as well. Okay, so until next time, take care, and can't wait to do the next video. See you soon. Bye now.